Set designs is one of the really exciting parts of clay animation. You can create the entire world that your characters live in. But set design doesn't need to be as challenging as you would think. Let's have a look at one of the sets that I've built in the past and break down the components that make up the set. This set is really quite simply designed. I have a backdrop printed on a bit of paper stuck to some cardboard. I created crates using cardboard and brown paper. I have a doll's house chest to create some more items in the backdrop, and I've created sacks of flour just by folding up some bits of paper. So this set, when it's filmed, actually has a lot of depth, but it's all using really simple materials. If you are following along with the hire or haunt activity, we're going to be building a set. There are a couple of tools you need before we get started. The first thing you need is cardboard. I'd recommend some thick cardboard to build your set background and some thinner cardboard to build your props. A pizza box or a cereal box is fine for both of these. The next thing you need is a pair of scissors and glue. For the glue, I would recommend PVA glue or glue that definitely can stick cardboard together, so regular school glue is not going to cut it. And then finally, I would keep aside a heavy book. This is useful for smoothing out the glue so you've got an even stick, and also as a weight to put pressure on the glue so it dries more easily. The first thing you need is to cut out a backboard. I would use one entire side of a pizza box, so make it nice and large. With the other side of the pizza box, you need to cut out 2 long triangles, which is nearly the length of the pizza box, and these are to be used as stands when you are creating your set. As you can see from this example, when you fold the edges of the triangles, you can then lay them directly against the back of the pizza box and they'll become stands to hold up your set. So we just need to glue those down and use a book to hold it down. The next trick I would keep in mind is also cutting up some small pieces of paper and gluing those to either side of the stand support. This just gives it another layer to help support the stand. Don't forget to use your trusty book to weight it down. So now you can see the basics of how it works. The pizza box will stand up on its own. One of the things I would recommend is ensuring that the edges of the triangles at the bottom aren't longer than the back of the baseboard. I would recommend going and trimming along the edge to make sure that the triangles are shorter than the backboard. So this means that when your set is standing up, it leans backwards ever so slightly, about 1 or 2 degrees, so that it's not going to fall forward. It's better to have your stand leaning ever so slightly backwards rather than falling forwards onto your characters. Once that's trimmed, your set should be quite sturdy and able to stand on its own. Finally, grab your background image, and this might be wallpaper that you've printed off from the resources section, or it could be something you've made yourself. It might be a drawing or a watercolor. Whatever you've got, feel free to now glue that onto the front of your set. Use a book to smooth out the glue. And now that'll stand up on its own. So now you can see how this looks together with the floor. You've got the wallpaper and the floor. The next thing you want to create is some props to liven up your set. In the resources section, I've got a couch and a vase that you can download, and these images are all Creative Commons, so they are free to use. I would start off by cutting out your couch just loosely and gluing it down onto your cardboard. Again, use the book to flatten out the glue so it is a nice, smooth finish. I would recommend to leave that to dry for a few minutes. Once your couch is dried, I would then go back and cut it in finer detail right around the edges of the couch. Now it's time to create the stand. So in the exact same way we created the stand for the set, just cut out some small triangles which you can use to support the weight of the couch. In this case, I actually use 3 stands because it's a bit of a longer object. With the vase, you probably only need 1 stand. But again, glue that down, put a book down to weight it, and then trim the edges just like we did with the set. And now your couch should be ready to go. It'll be able to stand on its own and decorate your set. One of the other things I would recommend when you are decorating your set is that you can put a little bit of blue tack in the stand of your items to make sure that they stay standing up and they're not going to accidentally fall over when you're filming. Now, when we look through the viewfinder of our camera, we can see that these items all laid out together look great. So it's very simple to build a set that can look really effective. So don't forget to check out the resources section. You can get a printout of the wallpaper, the floor, the couch, and the vase, which you can then use to create the exact same set. Or, if you'd like to create your own set, feel free to find your own images. I would recommend finding images that are Creative Commons, which means they don't breach copyright. I've got a link in the resources section to where you can find other Creative Commons images, so you can decorate your sets with some really high quality shots. So I'll let you build your set, and I'll see you in the next lecture.